Every EV driver encountered this scenario.
This charger doesn't work.
What if I tell you can help the community improve the charging network and get something out of it? N-Charge! Share your experiences and impressions at the charging station via N-Charge. Give direct feedback, receive kilometers and stars, collect kilometers and exchange them for charging credits. Use the link in the description and get 20 kilometers for free.
Hello everyone, this is the Audi A6 E-Tron Performance rear-wheel drive, and this is a Volkswagen ID.7 Pro S rear-wheel drive. This is a 95 kWh battery, this is an 86 kWh battery usable. And tomorrow my wife and I, we're gonna take those two cars on a long distance trip around 550 kilometers, and we're gonna see who's faster. Good morning everyone, it's the next day, we are on the road, we're driving. I have navigated to all the stops that I want to go. I planned the route before by the route planner, and very similar to what Audi says with their route planner, and I planned it in a Volkswagen ID.7 Pro S as well. Cindy, my wife, is in the Pro S behind me. I'm here in the A6. Have the dogs with me. We charged to 100%, preheated both cars when they were not plugged in. Both have a heat pump, and we're going now to the first charger. Distance is 280 kilometers. We're driving 140. There are a few differences with those two cars. Number one is that the A6 here has digital mirrors, so the consumption is a bit lower because the mirrors are a bit smaller, but it has 20-inch sport tires on, where the ID.7 has normal mirrors. You cannot have digital mirrors in the ID.7, but it has 19-inch wheels on, which the consumption should be a bit less. The car says right now I arrived with 39% in 254 kilometers. A better route planner said I will arrive with 31%. Here you can see the beautiful head-up display and my cockpit. It tells me here all the navigation that we charged from 36 to 61%. Amazing. Here I have my consumption. And by the way, after consumption from the start, here in the long term, so when we started at home, but with my other trips, I have here when we are a few hundred meters away from the highway. So I can, and then we'll see, look at the time. I started at 8:46 at the highway, and then we can also do an average speed in this car. I have my heat on 22.5 degrees, the seat heater on, it's comfy in here, everything is good. I'm not in efficiency mode, I'm in comfort mode. The ID.7 as well, he's in also standard comfort mode. I arrived with the Audi with 34%, consumption 223. The ID.7 had 33%, so 1% less, and 200 watt-hours per kilometer consumption. We'll look at the charging. ID.7 charges with 155 kilowatt, the Audi with 170 kilowatt. With the Audi I have to charge to 66%, and I arrive with 10% there, but just to be sure we're going to charge to 70%. Don't want to be stressed. The Volkswagen is at 53%, and it already tells me I would arrive with 14% or 15. I can end charging now. ID.7 is done, charged to 57%. It has 280 kilometers of range. We need 210, so that's fine. The Audi has 243 kilometers of range. That's not enough. That's just 35 kilometers of safety. So we really charge to the 70%. We are on our way again. Like I said, Audi charged to 70%. Took 4 minutes longer to charge to that 70% than the ID.7 charged to 57%. I have now 240 kilometers, 43 kilometers of range, 197 kilometers to go, so that's okay. It says I should arrive with 13%. Car tells me now I arrive with 14%. It's 170 kilometers to go and I have 223 kilometers of range, so that's totally fine. We're driving the 140 again. I have the AC on now. And my consumption, by the way, this is from home with 14 kilometers of country road and slow, and this is just a highway. Barely any difference. Audi arrived here at the second charger with 23%, 210 watt-hours per kilometer for the whole trip. And I charged 200 kilometers. ID.7 arrived with 12%, 187 watt-hours per kilometer. I have to charge 40 kilometers more. Audi is done charging. The ID.7 still needs 1 kilometer. So it's also done. So the ID.7 was 2 minutes slower. Audi arrived with 16%, and this is my data for the whole drive. ID.7 arrived with 11%. And this is my data for the whole drive. Time to analyze the data. Average consumption on the Audi 209 watt-hours per kilometer. It car showed 555 kilometers. Real kilometers were 561. We drove 305 minutes because we stopped one time for a toilet break, and the other time when both cars were done charging, I waited because we walked the dogs. And that's an average speed, including charging, for the Audi of 110.36 kilometers an hour. On the ID.7 we had lower consumption, but the same driving, since we did this on purpose. When it comes to charging, the Audi charged in 14 minutes 35 kilowatt hours on the first charge, only 150 kilowatt average power from 34 to 70% because it was not low, and I don't know, maybe the battery heating, navigating to the charger wasn't that amazing. And I used the e-tron route planner, so where it applied the charging, so I didn't just drive somewhere and charged. It told me you charge to 66%. Second charging session, only 2 minutes for 7 kilowatt hours. That's 210 kilowatt average power from 23 to 27%. That sounds more like it should be. The Volkswagen charged 10 minutes on the first charge, 23 kilowatt hours, 138 kilowatt. Also not amazing because we plugged in at 33%, but only charged to 57. That's why it was faster. It had enough range. Then second charging session, 4 minutes, 11 kilowatt hours. That's an average 165, 12 to 23%. So what I see here is the Audi on the first charging session was 4 minutes slower. On the second, it was 2 minutes faster, and but at arrival, it had a higher state of charge. So on this trip, I think they were both exactly the same. If I would drive the Audi first of all at 150, not at 140. I didn't want to do that to Cindy, my wife. To drive 150 would be too stressful. And then I arrive with 10% or 15% at a charger and get the 270, 280 kilowatt, where in the ID.7 I only get 205, then I think if I only charge to around 50-60% and have enough range to get to the next charger, I think the Audi is faster, but not as much as I thought. So I thought the Audi would smoke the ID.7 by a long run, but the consumption was 10% higher, something like this, more even. And the charging power is better, but when you plug in at a higher state of charge, it's not that much difference. It's more on the lower. But I still think the Audi would be faster on a perfect run when you drive fast and you drive as far as you can to the charger. But that's not always the case. You cannot always just drive and say, okay, I'm at 10%, let's charge. Sometimes there's not a charger or not the charger you want to use because that's better for you when it comes to for price, and that's what you have to deal with. Then you arrive with 15% or 20 or 5 if the thing is not like this. But we have another data, and that's if I take the Audi and I say only from the highway and then back also at the highway. There would only be 529 kilometers, what the car showed, and real kilometers 535, 290 minutes. That's an average speed of 110.69 kilometers an hour, which is really amazing. Average consumption at this point was 210. Really amazing. But again, I think if I would drive 150 and when I see, okay, next charger, I can arrive with a lower state of charge, I can drive even a bit faster and it charges then even faster. I think this could have been 115, for example. So it can go faster than this. For the whole drive, I charged 42 kilowatt hours into the battery with the Audi for 500, it was the whole thing. We started at around 100% and ended with 16%. This does not include the charging at home back to that 100%. This is just on the drive, but that's pretty good for 42 kilowatt hours charged in 16 minutes. That's very, very amazing. So the Audi is really great on a long distance trip. In this drive, what we did today, the Volkswagen is the same, but I think the Audi can be faster. I think a tiny bit, but not as much as I thought, like I said before. I really think the Volkswagen is still amazing for a long distance drive. If you want to follow me on Instagram, BatteryLife1, and if you want to support the channel, there's a Patreon link in the description below. And here on YouTube, there's also channel membership. And if you want to know what's happening behind the scenes, I have a third YouTube channel, Behind the Battery. But that's it for me. Thank you much for watching. Have a great day and take care. Bye.